Good morning to you, good morning to you. We're all in our places with sun shining faces. Oh, this is the way to have a good day. Hello, my sweet students. Welcome to another week of music class. As I am recording this for you, it is so gray and rainy outside. So if you hear a little bit of rain, if the video looks a little bit darker, that is why. But do not fear, this music making, spending time with you guys is gonna make it feel like it is bright and sunny. We have such a wonderful class planned. We have not one but two pieces to listen to from our composer of the month to wrap up January. We have a very fun new song to sing and of course some rhythm and some scales. So let's get started as we always do with singing through our scales. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Very good. Now, can you sing me your major triad? 1, 2, ready, go. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Excellent. Add that top do for your major arpeggio. 1, 2, ready, go. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Beautiful. So now we go down to La for our minor scale. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. Excellent. Now we're going to sing our minor triad. 1, 2, ready, go. La, do, mi, do, la. Very nice. Now add that top la for our minor arpeggio. 1, 2, ready, go. La, do, mi, la, mi, do, la. Nice job. Now, my friends, today we have one more secret melody for our composer of the month. This is going to be one of the themes that you hear when you're listening to our listenings today. And you might notice that this secret melody has a different background. And that's because this secret melody is going to be based off of the major scale, which is different from our other two secret melodies that we learned, which were much more on the minor scale. So let me get a starting note here. And it's going to sound like this. Ti, do, re, mi, re, ti, la, so, ti. Ti, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, ti. It's very beautiful, very graceful, kind of romantic. So we're going to break it down line by line. So feel free to use your hand signals. I think they help a bunch when you're learning this, okay? Here's the first line broken down really slowly. Ti, do, re, mi, re. Sing that for me. Good. Here's the next one. Ti, la, so, ti. Very nice. Ti, do, re, mi, re, mi, re. Do, ti, la, so, ti. Very nice. So that is the whole melody. I know it's a tiny bit longer than the ones we learned before, but I think you guys are totally up to the challenge. So let's take it all together and we'll go real slow and then we'll try it a little faster. All right? 1, 2, ready, go. Ti, do, re, mi, re, ti, la, so, ti. Ti, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, ti. Very nice. Let's try it one more time, a hair faster. Because when you hear it in the music, it's going to be a little faster. 1, 2, ready, go. Ti, do, re, mi, re, ti, la, so, ti. Ti, do, re, mi, do, ti, la, so, ti. Good job! And that is your secret melody for today. When you hear it in the music, it'll even be a tiny bit faster than that. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 bum. Bum bum ba 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 bum 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 bum. A little something like that. So, save it in your head. Take a screenshot of that melody. And let's move on to our song for today. My friends, we have such a fun song planned for today. It's called Forte Piano, and you might recognize those words from last week because they are dynamics. This is going to be a song all about the dynamics that we learned about last week. So let's do a quick little review so that we are all ready to sing. Alright, so last week we learned 6 different dynamics, but remember I told you that really there's only 2 and that there's just different versions of those 2. So we have piano, which means soft, and we have forte, which means loud, right? Now, if you have an M in front of that, that stands for mezzo, which means medium. So MP would be mezzo piano, medium soft, and an MF would be mezzo forte, medium loud. Lastly, we learned about our issimos, right? So if you see 2 Fs or 2 Ps, that is either fortissimo, which is very loud, or pianissimo, which is very, very soft, right? Pretty simple. We have one more dynamic that I would like to talk about today, and it looks like this. Kind of like a greater or less than sign, a triangle, an alligator, and it's called a crescendo. Can you try saying that word with me? Crescendo. Very nice. And a crescendo basically means that we go from piano to forte, from soft to loud. So you would start that note or that phrase wherever you see that crescendo softly so that you can get loudly. And the softer you start a crescendo, the more fun it's going to be. That's a little secret, right? Because if I start at, say, mezzo forte and I go to fortissimo, it's going to be okay. It's going to be kind of fun. But if I start at really piano and I build up, then I'm going to have so much fun with it. So why don't we try a crescendo right now? We'll just do a middle C. I want you to start this note as quietly as you can, and let's see if we can grow on it, okay? So let's use do, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. Do. Nice job, you guys. That's a crescendo. That is all there is to it. Sometimes I like to think of it like this. Crescendo, right? So when you're seeing anything that needs to be crescendo, just imagine that the text is getting bigger in front of you. All right, beautiful job. Let's put all this knowledge to use in our song. Guys, here is the dynamic song. This is a song that I sang in elementary school when I was learning about dynamics, and I think it is just perfect. So, all of the words in here are going to be one of the dynamics that we talked about. And every single time you sing that word, you're going to sing it that dynamic. So, you'll catch on really quickly. Here's how it starts. I'll sing a line, you sing it back. Forte, forte. Piano. Forte, forte. Piano. Fortissimo. Pianissimo. Here's my favorite part. Big crescendo. Forte, forte. Piano. Forte, forte. Piano. Forte. Very nice, my friends. And that is the whole song. It's all dynamics. So let's try singing it all together, straight through, and then we'll have a little performance with the piano, okay? All right. 1, 2, ready, go. Forte, forte, piano. Forte, forte, piano. Fortissimo, pianissimo. Big crescendo, forte, forte, piano. Forte, forte, piano. Forte. Very nice, my friends. All right. We are going to try it with our piano now. Make it as dramatic as possible, right? Make your fortes as forte as possible. Make your pianos as piano as possible. Just make sure that you save a little bit of juice for those fortissimos and those pianissimos. Okay? All right. Let's do this intro a little bit differently. So instead of me saying 1, 2, ready, go, I'm going to give you a little musical intro. It's super simple. It's just 3 notes. You're going to hear this. And then you say, forte, just like that. What's basically happening is I'm giving you sol, la, ti. And then you're giving me do, forte. Okay, so let's try it. Here we go. Forte, forte, piano. Forte, forte, piano. Fortissimo, pianissimo. Big crescendo, forte, forte, piano. Forte, forte, piano. Forte. Very nice, you guys. I hope that you feel really, really confident on your dynamics now. If you ever need to remember them, you can just go back to this song. You got your fortes and your pianos. And let's move on to our rhythm for this week. All right, here we are again with our rhythms. I'm gonna go through this a little quicker because there's nothing new today. We've got our eighth notes for half a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We got our quarter notes for 1 beat each. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got our half notes. There is going to be quite a few half notes in the rhythm that we look at today. So that's 2 beats per measure. So you would clap on 1 and 3 if you saw 2 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. And we have a dotted half note, of course, which gets 3 beats. So if you want one in your measure, you would have to add a quarter note or something of equal beat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. And last but certainly not least, we got our goose egg, our whole note, and that gets 4 beats. So it takes up the whole of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. So just another friendly reminder. When you see your eighth note in our rhythm for today and for most of the days, you are going to see it as 2 eighth notes. So 2 eighth notes looks like this. They're connected, but you still have to clap for each dot. So 2 eighth notes is the 1 and. Very nice. Let's take a look at our rhythm. Here it is. There is something for everyone in here. It's a real grab bag. So look it over. See if you can find me a quarter note. There are 7 of them. Now look it over. See if you can find me an eighth note. It's going to be the eighth note that's connected to another eighth note. Look it over and see if you can find a half note. There's quite a few. In fact, the very first 4 notes are all half notes. Now, there's only one of these. Look it over and see if you can find a dotted half note. There is one at the very end of the first line. Nice. Okay, last but not least, look it over and see if you can find me a whole note. There is one at the very end of the second line. So in this rhythm, you have every single beat or rhythm that we've learned so far. Eighth notes, quarter notes, half notes, dotted half note, and whole note. So if there's something that you're still a little bit shaky on, you will find out today and you can clap it through during the week if you want to get better at it. All right, as usual, the beats that you are going to clap are in a color. This time it's yellow. And the beats that you have to hold through are going to be in black. All right, I will clap a measure. You clap it back to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. That combination could be a little bit tricky, the quarter note and then the dotted half note. So you're clapping on 1 and 2, holding on 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to get another shot at it right now because we are going to clap that whole first line, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get it that time? I hope you did. If not, you'll have at least one more chance, right? Okay, here is our second line. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. And if you feel like you can't make it through that whole note, you're just trying to clap an extra beat in there, I know that that's the very last note in the whole thing, so when I clap it, I just hold my hands together so that I'm not even tempted to clap an extra beat. All right, let's try that second line together, okay? I think the half notes can actually make it really tricky. It's really tempting to add an extra beat in there. So make sure that you're paying attention not just to the notes that are in color, but the notes that are in black, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Make sure you hold it through. All right, we are going to try the whole rhythm together. Make sure, try to always be in your head one beat ahead so that you are not thrown off by an extra long note, okay? All right. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice, my friends. We are going to do this one more time. Take about 15 seconds, look it over, see if there was a spot that you found a little tricky, and see if you can, in your head, reclap it and make sure it's going to be right for this next time we do it, okay? I'm going to look at it too. All right, I'm ready to do it perfectly. I hope that you guys are too. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, very nice, my friends. Those are all of the rhythms we know so far. Give yourself a pat on the back. That is not easy. All right, That is the end of our rhythm, which means that it is time for my very favorite part of the class, our Composer of the Month. Final day with our January composer, Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. He is such a wonderful composer. He lived from 1844 to 1908, that's 64 years. He was from a country called Russia, and because most of his compositions were written in the 1800s, he's considered a Romantic era composer. A very interesting fact about him that's very important is that he served in the Russian Navy, and that meant that for a lot of his time he was on a sailboat. So he was traveling to all of these different, wonderful, far-off lands, and that inspired a lot of his compositions, including the one that we've been listening to, Scheherazade. And another fun new fact about him is that he was an excellent teacher. He had a lot of students who came to him to learn how to compose, including our December composer, Prokofiev, who was also Russian. He was Rimsky-Korsakov's student. So he taught at a university and he inspired many, many different younger composers who came after him. Alright, so today we are looking at the last two movements of Scheherazade. Scheherazade has 4 movements. In January only has 3 weeks of school. So that's just the way it shook out. We got a double feature today, lucky us. So remember, we are in the palace with the very grumpy sultan who doesn't want to let anyone into his kingdom unless they can tell him a story that he likes enough. So nobody passes the test, and in comes our heroine, Scheherazade, with all of these fancy stories. She got Sinbad's ship, Aladdin, calendar princes, and today she's going to tell us the story of the young prince and the young princess. So here's the story. In one kingdom, there was a young prince. In another kingdom, there was a young princess. Both of these royals are kind of bratty teenagers, and they don't want to meet anyone that they could end up making the king or queen of their kingdom. And their families are like, oh man, what are we gonna do about these 2 crazy, bratty princes and princesses? And in comes 2 genies, one from one kingdom, one from the other. You know, like a genie from Aladdin, when you rip the lamp, that kind of genie. And they have a great plan. What happens when someone tells you that you can't do something? You kind of want to do it a little bit more, right? It's an issue. So they bring the prince and the princess into the same room, and the genies say, you're not allowed to introduce yourself to each other. And even though that's what they've been doing this whole time, they're like, I'm not gonna meet anyone. Now that they've been told they're not allowed to, they're like, oh man, now I kind of want to meet this person. So they say you're not allowed to introduce yourself to each other, and then they whisk them away. And after that, the seed has been planted, and the young prince and the young princess go on these incredible journeys from their kingdoms to meet each other. And then, of course, they fall in love. So, it's a little bit lovey-dovey, I'm sorry, but the music is wonderful, and most of it's about this journey that they're going on to see each other. So, let's learn a little bit more about the music you're going to hear on the next slide now that you know the story. List of all of the movements, it's very smooth and graceful and regal, right? It's about 2 pieces of royalty. And it features the string family, which is your double bass, cello, viola, and violin. So they are going to be playing the theme in addition to the clarinet. And this is a theme that you already know because it was our secret melody. Da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. So you already already know what to be looking out for, and make sure that you're listening to it and listening for it while we have this beautiful piece on. Something that can be really fun to do during this song is to pretend that you have a beautiful scarf and that you're twirling it around to the beat. It's kind of that graceful, lilting feeling. So you can either pretend that you're conducting, that's what I like to do, or you can pretend that you're holding and twirling a beautiful ribbon or scarf. All right, or if you prefer, you can sit and observe the orchestra, or you can sit and close your eyes and imagine a beautiful scene in front of you. Without further ado, the young prince and the young princess. All right, so moving on, I hope you enjoyed that little piece. The last piece we're going to listen to in this suite is called the Festival of Baghdad, and this is Scheherazade's final story. So at this story, the Sultan thinks it's so good that he lets Scheherazade stay in the palace, in the kingdom, for the rest of her days because she's such a good storyteller. So it's about this magical festival. Think of even maybe the OC Fair, or if you've ever been to that big international festival in the Circle that they have over Labor Day weekend, imagine something like that, a beautiful carnival. And there's things happening over here and over there, and there's colors and lights and sounds. So this movement is very, very busy and exciting. And what is going to happen is you are going to hear all of the themes, all of the secret melodies that we've been looking at the past few weeks. They're all going to come together in this movement in a very magical way. So let's review those on the next slide and then take a listen. Baghdad begins with the Sultan's theme. Now, if you have forgotten, our Sultan theme sounds like this. Bum, 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 bum. It's kind of low It's a little grumpy, right? And this time it's going to be a lot faster than the first time we heard it because now he knows how good Scheherazade's stories are. And it's kind of like, tell me the next one, tell me the next one. And then, of course, Scheherazade begins her final story. So Scheherazade's theme, if you need a refresher, sounds like and that is going to be played on a beautiful violin. And then the festival begins right after her theme, and you can tell because the music gets way busier. And it all of a sudden feels like sounds and lights are coming from every single direction. And then we hear our Calendar Prince theme. This is another one of our secret melodies, the one that goes ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum ba 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 bum. So that gets woven into the festival. And then we hear the Prince and Princess theme that we just learned, right? And you're going to hear these interwoven throughout this magical, busy festival. I can't wait for you guys to hear this piece. It is so much fun. This piece is amazing and fun any way that you listen to it, but if you put on your super duper listening ears, the ones with extra high frequency, then you will be able to hear all of these extra little pieces that we've been learning over the past few weeks, and you're going to enjoy it just that much more. So, in this final listening of Scheherazade, see all the different musical elements that you can hear, all those different themes, all those different characters. All right, I'm so excited for you guys. Best of luck. Without further ado, the Festival of Baghdad. All right, I hope you enjoyed that final movement of Scheherazade. I hope you heard all of the things you were listening for. A wonderful job. I know that was a very big listening. I'm so proud of you guys and your musical ears that are being developed. Thank you so much for another wonderful class. I can't wait to be with you again next week when we'll be starting a brand new Composer of the Month. And until then, all that is left to do is for us to sing our goodbye song. Alligator, after a while crocodile, bye-bye, butterfly, I'll see you again next time. See you later, alligator, after a while crocodile, bye-bye, butterfly, I'll see you again next time. I'll see you again next time. Bye.